This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. I'm so excited to have this next guest onto the show, these next guests onto the show. I haven't had a young, hot, spicy couple in a really, really long time, and I just know that once I get into it, it's going to be so much fun. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to thank Mike Hamilton at Rogue Media Network for all they do for me behind the scenes. I truly, truly appreciate you guys, and of course, to all of you guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for all of the support. We're about to be 4 years old on The Public Affair, and I feel like I'm turning 40. I feel like I have a lot of weight on my shoulders. A bitch has scoliosis. Okay, I'm tired of carrying all this weight. I'm getting grays. Okay, I'm stressed, but you know what? This has been a wonderful ride. I'm so grateful. Now, before we continue with my very luscious guests, I definitely want to use this opportunity give a shout out just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by David Santabanez with Alinea Real Estate. He is the number one sales agent in his office. That's right. He's gonna help you buy a home or sell your property. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea. Call the number on the screen if you don't know how to buy a house, if you don't know where to start. If you're unsure about things, my boy David will walk you through every single process step by step. Se habla español también. He's truly the GOAT and the number one agent in his office for all these years for a reason. David Santabanez, thank you so much for all you do for me and The Public Affair. Of course, to Anika Armstrong with Armstrong's Bayou Cafe and Po' Boy Bayou, which is giving dinner tonight. It's feeling very authentically Cajun tonight with a signature seafood plates, pastas, crab cakes, and so much more. And their po' boys. I had my first po' boy at Bayou's Po' Boys with Anika Armstrong over here at Union Hall. Delicious. I'm obsessed. You guys have to go check them out. Union Hall, Union Grove. You guys can order online at armstrongsbayoucafe.com. To Anika Armstrong, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Blue Star RV Services with Manny Guerrero, Mobile RV Tech, who fix all RVs. I'm talking about travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. Listen, he deals with the warranty company, so you guys don't have to do all that mess, okay? Nobody's trying to deal with no manufacturers. He'll get paid by them. Just pay them a small service fee, and him and his professional team are going to go out there and make sure that broken down food truck, I'm so tired of going to these food trucks, and you guys close them down early because the AC is not working. I want the tacos, and I want them now. If the AC is not working, call Blue Star RV Services. Manny Guerrero, thank you so much for all you do for me in The Public Affair. Of course, to Jeffrey Monreal at Boyle Box and Audio Home for all your LED needs, auto accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. And you know what? He came through for a personal favor for me just today. Jeffrey, you're the GOAT. Thank you so much. And if you guys need some tinting done, some audio work done, make sure you guys mention the word pineapples to him for a 10% off discount. Boyle Box and Audio, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, we're not going to go on without thanking SoCo Soccer Academy with Dominic and Ariana Gutierrez, who offer team, small group, and individual skills training. And they also have top-of-the-line daycare services with SoCo Kids now. It's summertime. You don't want the kids sitting at home playing Xbox all day getting fat, running up the bills, right? Go run up SoCo's bills and make sure they're into something productive, make sure they're into something that's athletic and that keeps them fit. SoCo Soccer Academy, thank you for all the support that you give The Public Affair. And of course, I remain a proud sponsor of the SoCo soccer teams, coached by my brother, Coach Mauro Maldonado, a tough and just rigorous coach, but he's so phenomenal, and those kids are so damn just talented. And congratulations to all of you guys and all your accomplishments, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. So thank you guys so much. All right. So like I said, it takes a lot out of me, Joey. You know, when you were on the show 4 years ago, I don't think I had 15 sponsors I had to run off.
No, man, but you did good.
Thank you. Did you think it was good?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't stumbling too much?
No, man, smooth.
I used to do that drunk, too. I used to do that fucked up. No, but you guys, look, I'm so excited to have these nice guests onto the show. They're a power couple in their own rights. Now, Joey Gonzales was on the show 4 years ago, episode 22, I believe. 22. This is episode 200 and something now. It's been that long, okay? And of course, when he was going to come back, he had to bring the gorgeous wife, Jessica, who I've just been seeing you do your thing. And I've been seeing both of you guys do your things. And can I just say, first of all, welcome to The Public Affair.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Jessica, you're serving face. You're serving lipstick. You're serving everything. So you look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. What did you think about Joey's slutty antics on the show 4 years ago?
Oh, gosh. No, trust me. I did watch it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you say, who's that fat mofo flirting with you? No, you didn't say that?
I was just like, who's trying to steal my man's?
Okay, at the time, I've changed my ways, Jessica. I want you to know that. I was trying to steal him 4 years ago, and now I'm not like that. Now I have
respect.
Yeah, I have a little bit more respect for myself, morals. Okay, I'm giving morals. And he was the best looking thing in the. First of all, shout out to Armando and shout out to Danny.
Sure.
Okay, they were phenomenal guests as well. But you know, it was like, hello.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, and thank you for coming on. I mean, you know, we've met each other in passing, but we've never had an opportunity to have a conversation. And so I was a little bit nervous that when I asked Joey to come on to the show, that you would be like, no, I'm not doing that shit.
I was nervous. I told him, I was like, oh, I'm so scared.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a conversation.
Sure.
You know, I'm excited.
I don't bite. I'm very nice, Joey, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
We talked about growth. And, you've been doing your thing, too. We have to ask, what's going on with Plus Waco Comics? Because when you were on the show on episode 22, you guys were promoting Plus Waco Comics.
That's right.
I haven't seen no comics, no nothing. What's going on?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, so life happened, man. So
Okay.
the thing about Plus Waco Comics is that we're really trying to keep it solely in-house, where it's just us. We're not really trying to go through another publisher and really have them do all the work. We're trying to do it all. We went through a little bit of trials and errors.
Sure.
Danny actually had a kidney transplant that he went through.
Oh, okay.
And we actually picked up a new artist. His local. His name is Nathan Wells. Phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
And we picked it back up. We since picked up the Lawbringer #1.
Oh,
Got that
okay.
out. Nathan's working on Lawbringer
That's
#2.
this one that you guys
That's
gave me, right?
That's
Congratulations
Thank you.
on
Thank
the
you very much.
publication. Now, is the Lawbringer, is he bringing the law?
He is.
Is this
yes,
a rated
sir.
R comic, or is this for kids?
No, not for kids.
It's not for kids.
No, 14 and up. There's
Okay.
definitely some cuss words in there. There's
Oh,
some
okay,
action.
sure.
People get some blowing up. There's some laser beams to go on.
I told you I wanted the published copy of the adults only. Okay.
Oh.
The behind the scenes comic. I don't know why you guys haven't worked on that just yet.
Yeah, I think there was like an orgy in the first book that Danny snuck in.
Was there really? Okay.
Yeah, go reread it again.
I'm gonna go reread it again. Yeah, you guys did give me a comic.
We did.
When it came out. Yeah.
Pussy
Okay.
Versus Alpha, shout out.
No, okay, so it's still a thing.
Absolutely, yes,
But
sir.
you guys have just had a change in scenery for the most part.
That's right.
Okay.
And so we still have our plan. We're still getting through. We're hitting the con scene starting now in July. We have a Texas Latino Comic Con that we're hitting up.
Okay.
Later on in the fall, we have Comics Art San Antonio that we're going to.
Sure.
And we're just trying to we're trying to get our books done before we really hit it out. Because we've been to cons before, we've pushed out 1 or 2 books before.
Yeah.
But whenever we're stacked up against creators that have been putting in the work and they have a bookload of books out there.
Sure.
And we're really kind of out of our water.
I got you.
So we really got to make sure we put in the work first.
For sure.
And so with Danny healing up, with me like figuring out the monetary side of things, and figuring out the business side of running a business of publishing comics.
Okay.
Because at first we just wanted to make comics, and then we didn't realize how much of the business side of it we had to learn. So. That's kind of what's the hold up right now. But we're getting them out, man. Don't worry.
And in a minute, when I go sit down and pee, a bitch has something to say. I can't sit down and pee.
Yeah,
like it's so frustrating. And Jessica, you are, first of all, he's doing too much. Don't you?
Don't ask me then.
It's the comics. It's now you're a realtor.
Yes, sir.
No, wait. Are you becoming a realtor? You are a realtor.
I've been a realtor for the last 2 years, but this is the first year I really hit my stride. And
you're doing your thing now.
My wife and I are going at it together.
Sure.
And so we're really trying to reinvent it.
Yeah, no, you're doing your thing, and then you're also doing the roller skates thing still, which we talked about at the last one. Shout out to Gypsy Lucas, who you constantly message me about.
I do, yes, sir.
Okay, leave me alone. I will go meet Gypsy in a minute. I want to go roller skate over there with her.
You should.
I do, yes. But Jessica, I want to talk a little bit about this. Well, I want to get to know you first, but Joey's got his hands in so many different things. Does that become agitating for you sometimes, or is that more empowering for you? Like, look at my man's just doing all this stuff.
It's definitely its own thing, just because like you said, I watch him doing so many things and juggling it. It's really been more of watching his growth, more on admiring him.
Okay.
Just because he does a lot and he commits to a lot of things, and he's figured out throughout the years like how to really dedicate to himself to what's really important and finding the balance for it all.
I have to say too, and this is no shade to you because I love you, but I thought if there was ever going to be a change in the comic book group, that you'd be the first to go. And I say that because you were I love you. No shade, sure. But he when in the show he was the youngest. Kind of didn't really at the time. You didn't really know what you. Like you said, you stay committed to too many things at once. So I thought you'd be the first one out, and you're still strong. You proved me wrong. So congratulations to you.
You wrong.
You keep and I am proud of you though.
Thanks,
I am
man.
because mind you, it was 4 years ago. You were the youngest in the group. You know what I mean? And you look how much can change in 4 years.
Yes, sir.
I mean, for both of us, for all of us, for that matter. You know what I mean? I was a lot fatter when you met me, and uglier. And DMs are still dry. Look at Jessica. Like,
I feel that on like the heavier side. I was too. I think in our early time, I think after like our second year, because we've been dating for 7 years now.
Oh, congrats.
We've been dating for 7 years?
Dating for 7 years, married 3 years this November.
They are married, okay? The gays stay out of Joey's DM. Since the show's grown, the gays have no chill. They're going to be, I'm so sorry, Jessica. I'll tell them to stay away, okay? He's taken.
He knows.
I know. Jessica went to university, so she fights. Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Jessica went to university, so she fights. Yes. Jessica, we had an opportunity to meet Joey back in episode 22. But, I would love to get some insight on you and your life growing up. So can you just introduce yourself to us and everybody watching? Like, who's this hot piece of meat next to Joey?
Gosh,
yes.
no.
You're gorgeous. You are.
Thank you.
Yes.
So my name's Jessica Moreno Gonzales. I grew up here in South Waco. I went to university, Bells Hill, Cesar Chavez, so just a Southside kid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to know. I went to school. I was raised by a single mom.
Okay.
And then from there, I went to school. I invested myself in. I didn't finish college.
Sure.
But I did land a really good position from working from the bottom up, where I was at a job for about 7 years, where I became the vice president, partial owner.
Okay.
But it was really unhealthy, and unfortunately, Joey saw me through all of that. He endured it with me, and I finally made the step, and with his support, that I was able to step away this year.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the biggest thing for me.
Sure. Now, am I getting first generation Mexican?
Yes.
Mexican American, excuse me, and then single mother household. So were there trials in that? Would you
absolutely.
Yeah. So how you look like you have a really good head on your shoulders, and like most people, we all go through things in our past and everything. Was dad just not in the picture? Or?
My parents divorced when I was about 11 years old, and it's sad to say, and this is no trash to like dads who like divorce, but like unfortunately in my situation, it was a very hard divorce where the words were said, the day I divorced your mom, I wish I divorced you guys as well. So it was a hard relationship to grow with, because it's not like I still love and respect my dad, but I've learned to have my boundaries with him and where he is in my life.
Okay.
And even like the relationship with my mom, like we had to grow up too, where it was a daughter and mom, we just clashed so much.
Sure. She was a young mom.
Yes.
Okay.
And she had to grow up too, because now as adults we talk a lot, and thankfully I was able to grow from that, because it was a lot of trauma.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But thankfully, I leaned a lot and heavily on my faith.
Okay.
That helped me pull through everything.
Yeah, and I wonder, it probably wasn't like that all the time, right? Because, you mentioned you have a young mother. You're young girls. You guys are both growing up essentially together. You know what I mean? And so, do you think that with everything that went on in your life, and I don't want to harp on it either, because I'm sure it's hard. Yeah. But do you think that everything that went on in your life, specifically with your dad and stuff like that, does it teach you how to forgive people? Have you forgiven those types of things that happened?
Yeah. So I learned forgiveness very early on because of that relationship.
Sure.
I think my dad was one of the first people I had to learn that really hard forgiveness, and then my mom as well, from how she treated me growing up and our relationship. So absolutely,
yeah. But and it's so great too, because it's almost as if you didn't become a circumstance of your environment, for that matter, or your life growing up. I love the way you put it on. First of all, I like the way he looks at you. I've been watching it at the corner of my eye. I can't wait to find a woman in my life that looks at me the same way you look at her. I can't wait. It's coming soon. But serial entrepreneur. Like, I mean, even dropping out of college or not finishing college for the most part,
So my situation was, I was in my second year of school in San Antonio, and I came back just because my sister was depressed, and my mom, of course, being an immigrant, and there's that big taboo on Hispanics and not really understanding what mental health is. So I came home, and I didn't get to finish school. I was going to MCC, and then I had a big loss in my life, and that really pushed me back on that.
Okay, got you, for sure. Well, you know what? You sound like a warrior. You sound, and Joe, is that what made you fall in love with her?
Oh yeah.
Through all her trials and tribulations, I've
been chasing her for a while, man.
Oh, is that right? So were you in the DMs because you went to La Vega?
Technically I was in the DMs.
Yeah,
I was there before the DMs.
He was in the MySpace DMs.
I was, man.
Yeah, okay. Is she your top 8? was she your top 8?
No, she never accepted the friend request.
Girl.
This is a fun story, and I'll let him say
Yes,
it.
please do. Yeah, because I wanted to ask you guys how you met, so please go on.
So I think we were like 12 or 13. We were at the fair.
Oh.
And I was
together, or
no, I was in line at the Power, and I saw her walk up, and it was like a slow motion thing. Where
it's corny as it is. I agree because I remember seeing him, and he swears that I went up to like him and his friend, and to this day I don't know who his friend was.
Okay.
But I do remember seeing him for the first time, and it was that moment where you just kind of like, oh, he's cute.
Who's this? Okay.
Cute. But from there on, he did. I know the way he's staring at me. He's waiting for it. He did. He always messaged me. Very, very sweet, respectful. Was always like, "Good morning, beautiful." Da 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 da. Let me take you out.
Oh, please.
But if you know Joey Gonzales,
15-year-old
shirtless pics. Okay, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, Joey.
I cannot.
He was a little slut bucket, wasn't he? Yeah. Joey.
I was respectful.
Were you trying to spit game, or did you really think, ooh, I kind of like this girl?
I thought she was beautiful. I thought she was beautiful when I was a kid.
Because, us when we're 15-year-old boys, 14-year-old boys, we're not thinking about who we're falling in love with. No. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean?
And then we found each other again. I think it was 2017.
Okay.
And, she had mentioned that she had a tough loss, an insurmountable loss, the year before. And I was about 3 years removed from a major loss that I had.
Okay.
So I was in a car accident. I had that gigantic scar.
Right.
It took skating away from me for virtually for 3, 4, 5 years.
Okay.
And so we were both very, very, very broken. We were trying to hold ourselves together. And whenever we found each other again, it just kind of came together.
Oh, wow.
We've been holding each other up.
We've been mentioning loss. Is that something you want to touch on real quick, or not really?
I can talk about it just because I hold this person in high regard.
Sure.
So the person who I consider my high school sweetheart and into college, he passed away.
Oh, gotcha.
In a car accident. So that to me, honestly, is what defined me as a person.
Okay.
Because I changed so much, and I cut a lot of people off, and I just kind of like the year after for grieving, I went through a lot, and I just kind of, I don't remember most of it.
Sure.
It's just, it comes with that traumatic loss, and it really molded me into who I am today.
Okay.
Like I talked about the trauma with my mom and with my dad and all of that.
Yeah.
But a lot of like the hardest thing that happened to me was that loss.
Wow.
Losing him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like growing up and remembering that, like I remember something very specifically going through that time, and I'll share it. I don't know if I've ever shared this with Joey, but when I was in his house after him passing away, and his name was Esteban Herrera, his aunts would always tell me, don't worry, you're young, you're gonna find someone, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's like at that time you don't think about that.
Well, you probably don't want to hear that either.
No.
Yeah.
It's like you don't say that to a person. But I was never looking for what was next, but Joey came in, like he said, when we were both very broken, and and he did slide into my DMs.
Okay.
Like, and this was like
was it with a shirtless pic?
No. So like Joey had mentioned, he had his car accident, and I remember him during that time. Like we messaged each other, and like he does suffer through some memory loss, and so like I messaged him. I was like, hey, I see that you're going through a hard time. Like, what's that like? And me of being of faith, as much as he probably hated hearing it then, was everything does happen for a reason.
Sure.
And when we reconnected a few years after both of our traumatic experiences, we just kind of fell into place.
Okay.
And like I know now, like Joey was always meant to be my husband.
Oh, wow.
Like, and he said it, unfortunately we had to go through what we had to go through to find each other.
Wild. Yeah. That's so crazy. Ooh, I got chills on that one. Yeah. Do you guys think that early in the relationship, right, when you guys go through these horrible things, which, I'm sorry to hear that, by the way, right? Do you think that creates ups and downs in the relationship? Do you think that it was harder to kind of build a relationship going through what you guys went through each? You know what I mean? Do you think that it put a little bit more trials in y'all's way?
I don't think it put more trials, but it definitely would. Like we had our things that we had to go through. Like I know at one of our first dates, I think it was like maybe our second or third or fourth, Joey asked me, he's like, I know this about you. Do you kind of hate me for that? I know that's really dark, but he was like, do you hate me that, I'm alive? And I'm like, no. I have such a strong faith in God that everything truly does happen for a reason. And, you know, for the longest time, I told Joey and always have, like, you're meant to be here.
Yeah.
And for him, like you mentioned, the trials, he has a lot of stuff he's still healing from during that time.
For
and
sure.
you know, at least for me, he's always been so good to me that, like you said, trials wise as a couple, like I never wanted him, like very early on, to ever feel like he was second choice, which, you know, you can speak on that on your side of things, because it is a hard subject to talk about.
I kind of want to ask Joey.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
No,
you know, it's somebody you love passed away. I mean, you know, but you know, now you guys are together. You know what I mean? And
at first it was, and she mentioned, like, I asked her, like, you know, are you upset? Do you feel bad that I survived and he didn't?
Okay.
And, you know, no disrespect to his family, but I survived something that I see to this day. You know, kids and young people driving recklessly or just driving, and just unfortunate events happen, and they don't make it out.
Right.
And, you know, whenever I had my accident, I didn't have I didn't do the cleanest things. I didn't do the right things. I didn't heal the right way.
Okay.
I didn't confide in the people I should have confided in. I held a lot of things in, destroyed a lot of relationships, became the biggest problem in my life. And,
Right.
And looking back, you know, she talks about him so greatly and so highly, and never I realized I was falling in love with her. It was kind of hard not to feel guilty.
Okay.
You know, because, like, looking back, like, I know I wasn't the best person throughout all this. And,
Sure.
you know, at the end of the day, like, am I the best person for her, or is it the person that she lost?
Wow.
And so it's kind of a situation where, like, am I the second choice?
Yeah.
But it's and I'm not gonna lie, it's a thing that I'm still dealing with, because,
Okay.
like I said, she holds that man to such a high regard.
Sure.
And,
Sure.
just all the respect to him and his family. And,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the best I can be for her.
Yeah. Well, that's all you can do. I feel like, wow. I feel like a therapist. As you guys can see, we're in a new studio. So I feel like I'm Oprah. Okay. No. First of all, big hats to the both of you. You know, a lot of people deal with a lot, and I don't want to use the word cliche, right? But a lot of people deal with a lot in their relationship when it comes to, like, you know, infidelities, trust issues, stuff like that. This seems a little bit unique in the aspect, like, you really can't do any, you know what I mean? How Joey, you mentioned how you still go through it now, right? Even y'all are married, you know, congratulations, with 3 years married, 7 years dating is what we said. How did you find it in yourself to kind of bounce out of that dark place in your head where it's like, maybe I'm not good enough, or, you know, second, whatever, how you put it?
I just think the way she's receptive of me.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard to, I mean, at moments, like I said, like, in my own solace, whenever I'm by myself, you know, I'll probably still feel those things.
Sure.
But whenever I'm with her, like, holding her hand right now, like, it's impossible to feel like that.
You haven't, like, let her go. Yeah.
No.
Stay with her. Yeah. I was almost going to take that plant out of the way so you guys can sit next to each other. Yeah. No.
But no, it's her. It's all her.
I love it. Well, God, so I love it. And I want to definitely learn more about y'all's relationship. I definitely want to learn more about the career paths that you guys are in. You know, kind of like some of your own ideas on relationships and other ideas. But we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, you guys, we're going to have more with Jessica, and we're going to have more with Joey here on the Public Affairs. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Wow. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode. Oh my goodness, I have chills of this episode of The Public Affair with Joey and Jessica Gonzales. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Am I serving legs? I'm serving legs, am I? Okay, I just wanted, because somebody said that my calves look like ham hocks, so
Damn.
I'm a little self-conscious. Fuck him.
No, Joey wishes for big
Does he really? Joey, you have good legs too. Wait, that's not part of the show. Please give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by Banda's Hauling Service with Julian and Ana Banda. That's right. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up and they're going to haul it away. They also do junk removals and they tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town in case the car breaks down. You guys don't know what to do. You know, those expensive towers. Just call Banda's Hauling Service. They got you, all right? And if you guys are having one of those big, giant Mexican wedding parties or whatever, Jessica, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you need a dumpster rental for them parties that you'd be planning, the weddings and stuff like that. Hit up Banda's Hauling Service. They'll put the there. It's super affordable. Make sure you let them know that The Public Affair sent you. Julian, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Ociel Penguin Benitez with Funtown RV, the best in RV sales. That's right. Penguin works overtime to make sure you and the family are situated in RV best suited for you. It's camping season. It's too hot at the tent. Excuse me, I'm not doing a tent. I need an RV. I need a toy hauler. I need a travel trailer. I need a fifth wheel, and so much more. And my boy Penguin is going to get me the best deal. Habla español también. Follow Penguin's cool RV and tips on Facebook. Penguin, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Strike a Pose Photography, my girl Myra Gonzales. If you need a photo booth for the weddings that you'll be planning and putting on, make sure you hit on my girl, Myra Gonzales, with Strike a Post. Okay, she's going to digital photo booth business, perfect for private events, corporate events, so much more parties. Okay, it's fun, it's convenient, it's easy. She also offers digital customized invitations as well as evites and sports photography as well. Call now with the number on the screen. Follow on Facebook, Habla Español, Strike a Post Photography. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my boy Jesus Sanchez with Brothers Roofing and Remodeling from Mart, Texas, a small construction business from Mart, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. Listen, protect your home from the crazy elements of this Texas weather with his high quality and affordable work. Follow on Facebook, call them on the screen, fencing, and so much more. All remodeling. My boy Jesus has got you. He does work that is honest and true. Brothers Roofing and Remodeling. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm super. This conversation. Thank you guys for being so vulnerable with us. I just want to thank you guys for that. I'm sure a lot of that was hard to open up about. But do you guys think that do you think that plays a part? Or excuse me, backtrack. How much of a part does that play in the strengthening your relationship?
I think it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Joey and I are all feels. Like, we both
For real?
are. I think I just made a joke with his mom yesterday, and we were talking about the 5 love languages, and I was like, it works for me and Joey because I think we're all 5.
Okay.
Like, we're very, very needy, and thankfully, like,
clingy and.
Oh, yeah.
He's clingy, isn't he?
I am too, though.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. I kind of want to, just lighten up a little bit. Who wears the pants in the relationship here?
I like to say we share them.
No. That means
So
she. Okay, yeah.
Her mother.
She gives me strong Latina. Like, you ain't gonna tell me shit. I don't need no man. That's what.
So she was definitely parent number 2 growing up. Because what she left out was, she was raised by a single mother, but
Sure.
she has 3 siblings that she was also in charge of, pretty much. And so Jess was she's a very strong woman.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
growing up, we were both growing up, and I had a lot to learn too.
Okay.
I had a lot of growing up to do, a lot of maturing.
Sure.
And so, yeah.
But I think that's one of the biggest things, like, in our relationship is the shift in that too, because
Uh-huh.
that is one of, like, my faults. Like, it's a strength, but also a fault in
Gotcha.
a relationship to figure out what the dynamic is.
Sure.
Because, like, of course, like, I want my husband to lead and
for
me to follow. But, for me, it came from knowing that I needed to always provide, and like I couldn't depend on anyone, but I have someone to depend on.
Yeah, because you grew up in a household that way, and I like the analogy that you use, because I kind of low key believe in traditional relationships where the man leads and the woman follows. I don't know how it's gonna work out with me, but because I know I'm a boss bitch too, but I want to be spoiled. But I think for you, how do you step back from being a little bit overbearing or from leading too much if you want the man to do so?
Say I'm sorry first.
Do you really?
I have to. I like sometimes like I'll say something and I'll regret it after.
Yeah.
Which usually typically like that's the guy. And Joey has his moments too, but I feel like I'm a jerk sometimes, and it's like he does not deserve that.
Sure,
He's
sure.
so sweet.
Yeah, whatever. How'd you get the girls out of his DMs in the beginning? Okay, yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. How'd you keep them out? Because Joey, please don't play with us. All right, it's that smile, it's the dimples. Okay.
No, it really is that. Like I think for me, it was really focusing. I kind of talked about like my job that I just stepped away from.
Sure.
And that was like a corporate America, like high paying job, like definitely breadwinner. And it was like, you know what, like for our relationship, because I agree with you. Like I as controversial as that is, like I do believe in traditional like structure, and I want my husband to lead and everything.
Right.
It's definitely like for me, my challenge is patience.
Okay.
Like I'm being like softer and kinder and just kind of like stepping back, and it is something I'm learning.
Sure.
Just because like you said, I am like with all my businesses and everything too, I'm so used to like, okay, like, we got to do this.
Well,
like we're not playing around.
Your structure, you know what I mean? And you like organization. And Joey doesn't possess, no, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm better at it now.
Yeah.
Before, I think maybe January, I kind of had like a big epiphany in life, and I just decided to restructure myself, restructure the business, restructure the comics, restructure the skating, and just really dedicate myself to just being the best that I can be. So
it's crazy to see how much you've matured in 4 years.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No, there's a lot that it just goes to show 4 years. A lot can fucking happen in 4 years.
I appreciate it.
It's so I feel like I'm talking to. I don't feel like this is Joey's revisit episode. I feel like I have a whole different person on this show. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But okay, so speaking of which, you guys obviously have really demanding careers, right? I mean, so we got the realtor here, and then you're doing the comics, and then you're skating, right? Well, the skating, would you say that's more of a hobby, or is that more career? Oh, that's career.
That's career.
Oh, he's getting paid. Oh, well, okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, let's not go there because Lord knows.
So my coach, Gypsy Lucas.
Yes.
Shout out again. She's one of the elite level coaches that we have in the United States. I think we have one of 3. And we have 2 of them here, her and her dad here in Waco. And they don't have any kids. And so I like to think that I'm that next one taking it up. And so now we started up the speed team again. So I'm coaching full time.
Oh, wow.
We have 5-6 practices a week. And we have kids that we're constantly messaging back and forth with the parents to kind of get on full programs, or really training these kids to be professional level athletes.
Phenomenal.
And they are fantastic. Yes. So we had kids that went to Missouri and Florida out there this year. We have kids that are going to Nebraska in just a couple of weeks with me.
Sure.
And so it's going to be great.
I want to do...
I was going to say shout out to Inside Edge.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, shout out to Inside Edge. Yes, we get the little plug. I want to do what you do too, but I can't be wearing them tights.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yeah,
because I know we talked about me losing weight, but I still got some rolls, and so I'm not trying to look like a pack of sausages either.
Nah, man.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna come and wear the tights, but you should have bought the tights. I would have worn them on the fucking show. You should have, bitch. And then Jessica. So you do a lot of wedding coordination, right? So you marry people.
So I do a few different things. So for the last 2 years, I've really invested myself in my De La Niña business. That's where I make earrings inspired by my cultura mexicana. But before that, I got ordained in 2016 for my cousins that asked for me to marry them because they're middle school sweethearts or even elementary school sweethearts. So they're like, Jessica, you're the one who kind of got us together. So can you marry us?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I've been ordained since then. And, at first it really was just like family, like, alguien, like someone said if I know anybody. So I was marrying people. Not really for a business,
right?
But just recently, like it's a lot of times people are asking, like, "Hey, can you do a wedding?" I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I've been asked to be the day of coordinator down in San Antonio, and that was really like the biggest opportunity I could have. Like it was a full weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh wow!
And that really taught me like, okay, I do this like I'm so used to doing project management for like in a corporate level. Like weddings are the same thing.
Same thing. You're coordinating weddings too, though. Have you worked with any bridezillas?
No, not yet.
No, not
Everyone's
yet.
always
it's
so
coming.
sweet.
Yeah. Now, will you marry me? Like, not will you marry me?
Yes.
So you'll marry like 2 dudes and shit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. No, I know that's and I would have been mad if you would have said no. I completely understood. Like, I can't even be my nephew's godparents because there's the Catholic world. But
hey, what is it? Pope Francis right now. He welcomes everybody. There's a lot of like
you know what it is? It's because I'm not confirmed, and then I'm not the traditional shit. Okay, we're skipping all that. But so no bridezillas, no nothing hard to work with or whatever. With the demanding positions that you guys are in, I'm sure that there's a lot of stress that goes on in the day. How do y'all leave that outside the door as a couple and don't bring it home? Or y'all bringing it home?
I'll let you answer.
Yeah. Joey's bringing it home, isn't he?
Yeah. Just because like I'm plugged to my phone because I also run Para Todos Waco, and that's where I do community events, a lot of pop-up mercados, and I'm advertising a lot of like Mexican-owned businesses. Sure. So I'll let him answer.
Okay.
That's something that we could do better as a couple is being able to mediate that, because right now everything just bleeds together, and we're each other's partners. Yeah. And so the being able to let go and say all these things that are happening and kind of let go of the stress. It's hard not to leave it on the table whenever that's the person that you kind of want to confide in and let it go to. And then from there, it's just really hard not to let it bleed into everything else.
I got
you. We need to have a better way of separating it, because as of right now, it is stressful, and it is harmful to us because there are some moments where we're like, damn, we really shouldn't let that affect us.
Sure.
You know.
But then at the same time, you guys both have jobs that you kind of work from home too. Like if somebody's trying to buy a house and they're texting you, listen, when I was working with Taylor Santa Maria, it was 9:00 at night. Like, let's go look at this house. Same thing with you at the wedding. You know what I mean? Like if somebody needs something last minute change, this and that. So you guys, I'm sure, are constantly on the phone.
Even on holidays, like
it's so much more free. Even though we're constantly in demand, it's so much more free than what we were doing, was being on somebody else's schedule.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I've not done that just yet. Everybody keeps asking me, are you living off the public affair? And I'm not even close.
Soon, it's coming.
One day I'll become some famous thing. I don't know. We'll see. But no, okay. So I like that about you guys. I feel like you become a power couple in your own right? And so with that being said, I want to give a shout out to Cameron and Claudia, who I feel like are the original the OG power couple of the public affair, I should say. Sure. Because and I've known Cameron for a very, very long time. I mean, we go back radio days. Love him, flashy. And so with you guys being dominant in your respective fields, does it create challenges in your relationship? I mean, because we talk about having traditional roles, right? And we talk about how Joey should lead, blah, blah, blah. But then with you guys being bosses in your own rights, it kind of goes back to the last question, is how do you leave that at the door?
I think we worked through it, though, because, one of the things, for me, being Mexican, my mom's always like, Joey te deja, your husband lets you go to San Antonio for a weekend. Okay. I'm like, do I need to ask him for permission?
I was gonna say, girl, I was like, no, we can go to San Antonio for the weekend. You just can't trust people these days. I'm not saying that you guys can't trust each other. You just can't trust other people. Believe me, the married men are still in my DMs. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we work through it. We both understand that we're trying to build something.
Yeah.
And, as hard as those late nights where he has to stay up writing and I have to fall asleep.
Sure.
I know it's all counting for something, and it's not we have a negative outlook to each other,
sure.
Oh, he's wasting his time. Absolutely not. You
know?
And
it could be that way too, though. I feel like the Joey I met 4 years ago.
Well, I remember him when we were first dating. One of his first questions would you support me if I wanted to write a comic book? And I'm yeah.
So, for better or for worse. I said, for better or for worse, if I chose to pursue a career in creating comics, would you support me?
Sure.
And she said
yes.
She
said yes. Now look, published, Lawbringer, and I got volume 1.
That's right.
I don't like that you gave it to other people too, though. You should have just gave it to me. You walked in with a whole stack. Okay, I was exclusive. No, I know you and might go back because shout out to the Long Box podcast. That's right. That's right. I was on the Long Box. Remember how slutty I was on the Long Box?
You were.
I was super. Yes. I was super slutty on the Long Box. I'm sorry. I really am. I cringe at a lot of that old content that we made. I do. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I cringe sometimes.
Well, I think it's kind of healthy to look back, and if you cringe at yourself then, because that's where you kind of see the growth happen now.
Yes.
Look at you now, man.
Do I look good?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not trying to take your man. I promise I'm not.
No, I see your post in the gym, though, man. It's working.
You see that, right? Yes, thank you very much. Make sure I get my flowers.
Absolutely.
Shit's hard. Shout out to Hotworks. I went to Hotworks for the first time.
Hey.
Have you guys been to Hotworks?
No, I
haven't. I have not.
Y'all should work out. What's a fun thing that you guys do together that kind of takes your mind off of all the business savvy and, do you guys ever make date nights?
Oh, yeah.
Like
we're going to go see Inside Out 2 tomorrow. We try to make it. We try to make it a thing where it can semi-regular.
Inside Out too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That was his idea. Wasn't
our first.
No, it was mine. That first one had some feels though.
Yeah, our first movie that went. Our first date night was Lego Batman.
Yeah. But it's so cute.
We go to movies. We take walks. Whenever it's Marie's now, but whenever it was Classy, go to Classy. We just make time to each other.
They changed the name.
Yeah, I think it's new owners now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I could be wrong.
Stay Classy?
Yeah, I could be wrong. It's Marie's now.
The one on Austin.
New owners? I'm going to get a thumbs up from Mike.
They got new owners?
We went there. Nice place.
I love wine. Yeah. I'll bombard the. Okay, sorry, I digress.
I know,
here.
shocker, right?
No, I'm really proud of you with the Lawbringer.
Thank
Okay,
you,
no, and I'm gonna read this when I get home. Well, actually, no, I told you all the shit I have to do when I'm done here. Okay, tomorrow. So what can you? I kind of want to get y'all's perspective on other relationships, right? So longevity in relationships, unfortunately, seems to be a very, very not common thing these days, right? And I feel like, personally, I feel like a lot of social media plays a part in that. You know, the only thing I ever see you guys posting of each other is uplifting each other, right? You never like, fuck that bitch Joey, you know, and you know, just because a hoe. Like, you guys don't ever post that, right? Because y'all know the couples that be doing that, right? Yeah. You guys, stop this. You guys know the couples that be doing that.
She gives me a look. She doesn't post things, but she gives me a look.
Yeah, like, all right. But you know those couples like, fuck her, I don't give a fuck, and she's nothing but a stupid hoe, and then the next week they're back together, right? And she's the love of my life. I'm like, oh god.
I saw that recently, actually.
Right, me too. And so we're probably talking about the same person. But how do you guys keep your relation? And not to say that you're private because they're on the public fair, but how do you guys? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place because I'm excited now, right? I'm really excited. What mistakes do you guys see other people making that you would never follow suit in your relationship with?
I would definitely say talking illy about your spouse in front of other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like if there's ever a thing, I'm gonna have her back, like no matter what.
Yes.
And if it's a situation where I think she could have done something better, or if I have been the wrong, you know, I'd hope that she'd have my back in that moment.
Sure.
And then privately correct it
together.
together.
That's the biggest thing, honestly, because you, especially like being Mexican, like it's so easy. Let me go complain to my mom, to my cousins, to my aunts.
Oh
like,
yeah, and then everybody.
You don't need to do that.
Sure.
Like it really needs to stay private too. Where if you need to stay mad, be mad for a little bit, but it's really going to be the communication between each other to work it out. Because I mean that happens to us. Like we'll get frustrated with each other and we'll want to storm out, but it's like, all right. You go to the bathroom and I'll stay over here. And
was there ever a time in y'all's relationship where you thought, oh my God, we're done here?
I don't think so.
No, not really.
How about them couples that be fist fighting?
Oh,
I'm not talking about domestic abuse. I'm talking about like they just be fucking fighting like two grown ass men. Like, what are y'all doing? I went out recently and I saw this couple just like fucking. I was like, what are you doing? You can't do that.
I don't know.
It's so wild to me. I don't know. You know, because you know who does that too? The gays. The gays be doing it.
Gosh.
You know, the gays fist fight, and I think that is so weird to me. I don't know why that's like a thing. No. Okay.
No violence, please.
Sure. No,
we're good.
You know, something that you mentioned just a second ago, like being in a Mexican American or Mexican household or whatever. You know, the cheese man. Everybody, you know, talks things. How did you take a step back from that? Because I'm sure it's hard. You know what I mean? Like the women probably all get together. You know, women they could be catty. No shade. I'm just saying. You know, the women tend to be the gossiper. Well, no. Oh wait, let me take that back.
Well, let me. Yeah. Like you're not wrong, but you know why? I think, and you can. Both of y'all can answer this part. I think women lean on women because it's so much easier to talk about problems and you'll have feedback from there, which I don't know if like the male perspective, like do you guys ever talk about your problems to actually help each other out?
I like to. Joey, what do you think? And then I'll interject.
It just depends on like who you're talking to. Like if you have close friends like that you're able to confide in, good for you.
Sure.
But if you don't have that, then you know you probably aren't exploring that.
Yeah. I like to think so now. I didn't think so years ago. I reference my two brothers on this show all the time. They're the only ones that have seen me like boohoo, sob, cry like a bitch. Not like cry because you're, you know, I'm talking about like I'm breaking down, I'm having, and I do feel like I can talk to them about it, and it's nice. I like that bond as men, especially because they're like heterosexual men and I'm not, and so it kind of makes it feel like the bond is a lot more stronger. You know what I mean? Like because that there's not only is there a level and sense of respect, but there's also like a level of trust that we can have, and it's okay to have that, and you know, no matter what people might think.
And see, that's what I think is important. Like especially like for me as an older sister, like I'm very open with like my younger siblings, and I probably tell them more than they want to know, but it's because like they haven't seen what a healthy relationship is. And like I'm the oldest of 20 grandkids and we're the only couple that's married except my aunt. I just married her. Sure. But that was like this last month, and so like we've been the only couple that's married, and you know, fortunately I really hope that we are doing good as far as showing an example like to our younger peers that we have.
I think you guys are doing good showing an example to anybody for that matter. I have so much respect for you. I'm so happy that we got to meet you and I. We should do brunch. Oh, yeah. Do you like to go to brunch?
I love brunch.
He can't drink, but girl, we can. Okay. You can go. He can drive us. Yes. Okay. Then I don't want to talk about what happened at that show. But okay. But no, you know, how do you guys complement each other? With your strengths and your weaknesses, or your faults and your flaws, you know what I mean? Faults and your flaws, you know, your flaws and your strengths. You know what I mean? How do you lift one? I would like both of your perspectives.
Yeah, you go first.
Well, so I know one of the faults that I have is that I'm very self-conscious about myself. Like I have such a hard time believing in myself, even though I do a lot of things behind the effort. Like,
yes.
And Jess is the one like, well, you're doing this, you're doing that. You know, you shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel, because I always feel less than. I always compare myself to whoever. It's online looking at, this person's going faster than me, this person's looking stronger than me.
Yeah.
And I have that comparison where I don't feel as good as them.
Okay.
And then she compliments me by, putting that haze away and seeing that she's able to put the pedestal that I can stand on. So she
Joey, don't think of that. You're very hot. You stop this, okay? You've been hot for 4 years. You just got hotter.
And it's not just appearance. In general, like the big, it's
nice.
hard being like comparing yourself to other people's success, and especially when we're starting out, it's hard. And I have to tell him and remind him like, like we're where we are, and it's okay.
Yes.
All in good time. Like all of our work will succeed someday, and show for it. And sometimes I tease him. I'm like, well, okay, if you had that, would you be happy then?
Sure.
And it's like, be happy now.
Be happy now. Okay. I agree. I like that.
Like one of his biggest things too is like we traveled a lot for skating. Well, like this last time we went to Florida a few months ago, and he had never swam in the beach in all his years that he went. And I'm like, Joseph,
we never have time.
Oh my God. So do you guys get to go to the beach?
I make time.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We're making time for the fucking beach, bitch. Okay. That's one thing we're doing. Yeah. What about for you, Jessica? Is there anything that you think that he kind of pulls you out of when you're in?
Yeah, like I kind of the same thing for me. Like I've struggled a lot with with my body as far as appearance, because I gained like I think over 50 pounds at my job, and I'm slowly losing it all. And thankfully,
girl, you look good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a hard work. And Joey, as much as of a pain it was to hear, it's like, hey, are you going to the gym? It was really hard on that. Was like a me problem. Like,
sure.
I need to take that as far as taking care of my health, because at someday we do want to have kids,
Yeah.
and something we welcome, but I need to be healthy for that.
Okay.
And I think like for me at least, like my physical really like correlates with my mental health.
Sure.
And so
I agree.
He really helps me push on that. But just in all, like he's just like my biggest like fan. He always supports me.
Yes.
Like we always revert to that whole question about the comments. It's like there's never a dumb question or a dumb idea. Like if you're gonna do the work behind it, do it. I'm running these 3 small businesses, and it's because he says, yeah, you can do it.
Hell yeah. I love it. Well, listen, I loved having both of you guys on the show. I wish we had 100 hours and we don't. But, before we go, what's next for each of you? So, Joey, obviously you're doing The Realtor, right? And then, again, congratulations I'm happy that you guys are still going strong with the comics.
Thank you.
I really am.
Thank you.
And so what can we expect going forward? Are you going to be sticking with both? Or
Absolutely.
I'm talking about Realtor and, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah, someone's got to fund the books.
Every time you sell a house, you can put
New
a
books.
comic
That's right.
in with the house. I came up with the idea, bitch. I better get residuals. Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan. More books, recruit, keep on recruiting, grow the team, Inside Edge for speed skating. Got it here in Waco, Texas, and get these kids traveling all around the world, and helping people sell houses, buy houses. Together, we are moving into the Milestone group, which is a group that we're in together. And it's all about helping newlywed couples navigate the troubles and tribulations and issues and regular questions that the people have about getting married, getting eloped, and buying their first home.
Hello.
Yeah, so at the Milestone team on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys did just announce that. So congratulations to both of you. And for Jessica?
So I have a few projects coming up. So come July, like I'm partnering up again with lots of small businesses to host these events. But like we have Frida Fest coming up. That's going to showcase a lot of local artists. So if you are a Frida Kahlo fan, please message me and we can showcase your work. And if you want to sell it, you're absolutely welcome to. I am partnered also. I'm actually a Austin Latinas Unida brand ambassador.
Oh, sweet.
And because of their support down in Austin, I'm going to be able to create this event in Waco. We're going to host our first Waco Latina Day. Because I went to your empowerment conference. You remember?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was there. Loved it.
Which one?
The
one last year or this past one?
This past one. Recently.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. It was cool. I liked the last year's a lot better.
Okay. I didn't get to go to last year's, but I did go to the most recent one.
Yeah,
and I loved it because Waco needs more of that. And thankfully, I have a group of amazing women that are going to be speaking, so it's going to be a weekend of empowerment.
Great. Hell yeah. Okay, well, listen, congratulations to the both of you. And, anytime you want me involved in an event, I'm very cheap. I will tell you that. Okay? I'm very, very cheap, and I'm going to definitely invite myself to any party or event that you guys have going on, any baby shower that might be in the future, because I know you guys will be having kids. Not maybe soon, but, I'm not putting that on you guys. But, congratulations to both of you on such a healthy and successful, and congratulations to you too, Joey. I really am proud of you. 4 years ago, look at us now.
Oh, yeah.
On the 21st floor of the Alico building, and we're not drunk. We haven't had a sip of alcohol.
That's right.
Okay.
We're hydrated.
We're hydrated, and we're not sweaty.
That's right.
Listen, you guys, thank you guys. I swear to God, this is the last thing. Before we go, what can y'all tell a couple out there right now that is struggling with each other, that may think that there is no means to justify the ends, maybe that is just ready to call it quits? What advice can you give to them?
How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're not happy with the relationship, try to take a step back and figure out what in your life that you're not happy with and figure out how you can tackle it and get it resolved.
And a relationship's a choice. So
Right.
if as long as you choose each other and you're going to put the work in to figure out what needs to happen for that relationship to continue, it really is just a choice. So either you choose to continue or you don't, because again, it could be a healthy relationship or it's very unhealthy. And if two people don't want to work on that or want to continue their unhealthy habits, there's no point to put yourself through something that's not going to be wonderful for both of you.
I love it. Well, congratulations. Thank you again. I'm sorry. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for all your insight. Thank you for so much for coming onto the Public Affair and trusting me to come on this platform and you can give us some church on your relationship and perspectives. I truly appreciate it, and best of luck to both of you guys and everything that you guys have going on. And of course, if you guys want to learn more about Joey and Jessica, make sure you guys hit them up on their social media. Go ahead and plug in the social media again.
Yeah, the Milestone team on Instagram. You can find me at Joey Gonzales on Instagram.
On Instagram, I'm Just Mitch Mo and De La Niña, Para Todos Waco, and Jessica's Wedding Services.
And at Plus Waco Comics. I'm so sorry.
That's right. Yes, of course. Don't forget the comics. Hello.
Danny's going to kill me.
That's right. Thank you guys again so much for tuning into this episode of The Public Affair. I'm going to go home, get my life together, and then read The Lawbringer. Before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to encourage you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Follow all their social medias. Thank you guys again so much for coming on. I've got more of The Public Affair on the way. I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out. Just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is, of course, brought to us by Elite Barbershop with my boy Sid Rodriguez, located on Hewitt Drive. You can call the number on the screen or download the Squire app. Listen, walk-ins are welcome as well in case you're not about the appointment life, okay? He's got Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, Isai Reyes, and Sam Ceballos and Kyle Berry. Make you look at snackers I have for more than 200 and I don't know episode is 200 and something of The Public Affair. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my boy Junior Banda with Fatboy Michelada and Botana, who's still providing the best Michelada and Botana plates for yourself or for a party, and also offering the best aguachile, ceviche, chamoy, candy, hot Cheeto pickle plates, and so much more. Oh, sorry, my mouth watered. And if you need him for an event, Jessica, make sure you hit up Fatboy Michelada and Botana. He'll come to you. Okay. And if you guys need him to deliver it, just ask nicely. He might do it. All right. Junior Banda, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Don't forget, guys, get the best and not the rest. Of course, the Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor. My girl Ana Limones. Listen, call her for all party decor, including beautiful balloons. Do you know her? Have you done work with her?
Not work with her, but I have seen her stuff.
It's amazing. She was on the show. She made balloon arches for us. Her husband makes the wooden backdrops. Fresh. Okay, I didn't know that until she came on the show. Make sure you guys hit her up if you guys need your parties decorated. Okay, if you need a wedding decorated, hit my girl Ana Limones with the number on the screen. Se habla español también to Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to all of you, I've got more on the way. Thank you again so much for tuning into this episode. Joey, Jessica, love you both. Thank you guys so much for coming on to the show. And I don't know what they're doing after this, but don't forget to always keep it between us. That's it. Woo. Truly appreciate it. And of course, oh my God, I had a brain fart. That never happened. Shut up. Start over. I'm sorry. I had a brain fart. I did. Okay. Oh, I was like, who the fuck did I forget? All of the followers. Duh.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.